Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome everybody. Today guys we again will take a look at the euro currency. In general the situation here and the progress stands rather slow. So as you can see, we have discussed the possible appearing of the reversal pattern here, short-term reversal pattern 2 weeks ago, but on the recent week we've got only this upward bounce out from the upper border of the support. We know that this is really strong support on the weekly chart. That includes the monthly pivot support 1 and yearly pivot point. Also that is 3/8 fib support on the weekly chart, so this is really significant area, and our medium-term plan suggests the respect of this area. That should start from some reversal pattern. It should be extended in time, so very look visible on the daily chart, clear visible on the daily chart. So this should be some sort of the maybe butterfly, maybe head and shoulders or something of that sort. It should not be a 2-candle pattern, and it could trigger retracement up, and very probable that this retracement will reach either 3/8 area or even 50% at minimums, 137.50 area. So that will be not really bad move. This could be approximately around the 300 pips to the upside. That's really could happen, because it's the big picture and retracement will stand on the big picture. But that is the final point of our trading plan. The initial point stands around the reversal pattern that we would like to get and that we haven't got yet. On the coming week we mostly will take a look at market action with this possible right shoulder of this right wing of this pattern, because currently guys I do not see any other clear patterns that could be formed here except maybe this butterfly. That's the only pattern that I see. Well, maybe we will get something else later, but right now that's the only pattern that I clearly see on the daily chart. Hence the major point to watch for in the beginning of the week will be this top. It's 136.76 area, and our major condition is to see that price will stand below this top, because if this will not happen and if market will pass through it, it will erase the potential butterfly. Because we know that the butterfly to be formed, we need that the following price action stand inside of the initial swing of the butterfly, and the initial swing of the butterfly stands right here, from that bottom to this top. That's the first moment to watch for in the beginning of the week. The second moment stands on the intraday chart. So if market will form any reversal patterns on the intraday charts, on the hourly chart, on the maybe on the 4-hour time frame chart, we could try to take the scalp short position and trying to ride on this downward action, on the testing, the deeper testing of this support area. That will be the second stage of our plan. Also guys, in our weekly research we have discussed a lot of the fundamental moments, speaking on the Fed policy in terms of the rate hike and its view on unemployment, its balance between the possible driving factors as the geopolitical tensions, as the fundamental data in the United States. So you could just read it. It's just will give you the more in-depth picture on the euro currency. Particularly speaking, for example, this dive to the downside, despite on the fundamental weakness of currently of the United States dollar, this dive could be driven by some erratum. For example, something will happen, market will show the short-term reaction, and after that fundamental factors, the economical weakness of the United States dollar could start to work and market could start move to the upside. That's one of the possible scenarios, and you could read about it in our weekly research. Now the second question is why we think that market really could show some minor shy continuation to the upside. So for that purpose we need to take a look again at the Swiss franc. Recall that we also discussed these multiple grabbers that have been formed on the daily Swiss franc, and even we have announced some doubts on the possibility of its working, because we said, what is going on? The three stop grabbers have been formed, but market has no reaction. Maybe they will fail, or at least some worries about its potential, about its possible working have appeared. But in recent time, you can see that everything is okay, and these grabbers really have started to work. And but still, take a look that market has not quite reached the final target of these grabbers. Grabbers suggest taking out of these lows. It means that some shy action to the downside is still possible. Maybe market will complete something of that sort. Maybe that will be some kind of the ABCD action. Market will show some minor dive below these lows to complete some kind of the ABCD pattern or something of that sort. I do not know. What is important is that this move to the downside hasn't finished yet, and we should be ready for some downward continuation. That's why we think that some minor shy upward action here also is possible. But it's not absolutely mean that market should take out of these highs, because although the direction coincides of the Swiss franc and the euro currency, the pace of this action is different. So you can see on the Swiss franc, this action to the downside is much more significant than on the euro currency. The euro currency, it's more flat and just smaller. That's why if Swiss franc will take out of this point in relation of the Swiss franc, right, it not necessarily mean that the euro currency also should move above it. And I think that the butterfly in general could remain and could survive and could really be formed. And on the 4-hour time frame chart, I will show you why I think so. Take a look at the situation on the 4-hour time frame chart. That's the invalidation point of the butterfly. We have in progress A, B, C bottom pattern. The 1618 extension stands right here. And market probably will reach it, because you can see that this acceleration to the upside was really significant, and market has accelerated probably right to the 127 extension, even above the 100% extension. When market shows such sort of action, it in most cases continue action right to the 1618. That target stands very close to the weekly pivot resistance one, and both of them stand below this top. It means that this top probably should survive. Also, guys, take a look at the extension of this most retracement down. So from that top to this bottom, 127 extension stands right here, and it also stands below this top. So if, for example, some butterfly will be formed here and market will continue to move higher, that targets point that this top probably will survive, and in turn the butterfly chance also will be held by the price action. So the first stage of our plan will be watch for this upward action and whether any reversal pattern will appear. So for example, if market will form this butterfly, we also could try to take the short position, because our invalidation point stands right here. It's very close to the entry point, and we could take very tight stop, but the potential of this move to the downside will be very significant. That's the first stage of our plan. Second stage, or better to say, the alternative stage is, you could see it on the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, we see that this bottom is agreement. This ABC top 1618 target, the ABCD move down, and 618 support. That's an agreement. So if market really has an intention to continue move higher, it should not take out of these lows. And that is another point that we will watch for. For example, if market will fail to continue move higher, move below the weekly pivot point and take out of these lows, it will mean that probably we will not get any upward continuation, but probably we have started this move down. That the right wing of the butterfly has started to work. In this case, we will be just watch for completion of this reversal pattern, and finally we'll turn to our primary object. attempt of taking the long position based on this butterfly in advance of the possible retracement up. That's in fact our primary object on the euro currency right now. That's what we're in fact looking for. All other setups that we have on the intraday charts, on the 4-hour time frame chart, possible short entry here, or on the hourly chart, that's just a small add-on additional issues that we will try to use and try to trade just to get some additional profit and just to not be borrowing during expectation until we are waiting for appearing of the pattern on the daily chart. So that's our short-term view on the euro currency. Let's see on the market behavior what we will get in the beginning of the week. I hope that market will give us the chances for trading as on the intraday charts, as finally will give us the setup that we expect to get on the daily chart.